Alright, sorry about the silence at the beginning of the video. Had some folks in here talking. So we are continuing on with our class quest, kind of as we had decided. We're going to try to knock that out, get some more levels. I'm cleaning up some side quests, main quest, and hunting log all at the same time. And hopefully we will get closer to level 10. With your class quests, you get main updates every 5 levels. So you know, okay, I got a quest at 1, I'm going to get a quest at 5, I'm going to get a quest at 10. So once I complete this quest, I know I'm not going to get one until level 10. But I also have the main scenario to go. I have all kinds of other things I can do. So I'm just trying to get as much as I can. That way I reduce the amount of grinding I have to do in between quests. I would like to be able to go from one to the next, or relatively close. Once you get to a higher level and you can do things like random dungeons, group content, guild hests, there are a lot of ways to gain XP. Some of them are very time consuming, some of them are very quick, but they yield lower amounts. There's a lot of ways to get XP. Some are more efficient than others. There's something called Palace of the Dead, which is better for extra jobs. So as I have one that's leveling up and I have other things I want to level up, that's really good for that because this game has something called an armory bonus where whatever your highest job is, everything below that gets additional XP. It's kind of like a bonus. So if I have, let's say, a job at 20 and then I'm leveling a level 10, that job will level up a little bit faster to try to get caught up. So that's a really nice way to try to help people who are trying to run multiple jobs, because if you don't have the main scenario to add to your XP, it's a lot slower leveling a secondary job. This quest is introducing me to the housing system. So in this game, individual players or free companies, which are essentially guilds, can purchase houses in designated wards. They're very expensive, well over 1,000,000 gil a piece. Some people will tell you that gil is super easy to come by. I have never been a crafter, never been a gatherer on any of my characters, so I tend to be poor. I spend all my money on gear and upgrades and cosmetic items, so I don't tend to get a lot of money other than questing in dungeons, which is not the most efficient way to get money. You get more money by doing things like gathering materials and selling them, gathering items, crafting something that's unique and selling it. So this gate here takes you to an instanced area for housing. They have quite a few instances where all these different wards. Each ward has 60 plots of various sizes. All of the ones that have names are owned. So this particular plot ward, Ward 1, is completely full. If I go to Ward 18, see if there are any empty plots. Doesn't look like it. Looks like this is a very populated server, which means there's not going to be as many housing plots available. Let's see if there's one that would be available for purchase, just so you can see what it looks like. So each grand company, each city-state has their own wards. So this is the one for the pirate areas for Limsa Lominsa. Gridania has a set, and Ul'dah has a set. So the aesthetic that you want in your plots, we'll just go to the first one so you can see it. The aesthetic that you want for the way that your houses are built, for the area that your houses are in, is really what should make the difference for you if you're really wanting to pursue this. So here's the instanced area for Lenosia, for Limsa Lominsa. Beautiful seaside. It's got the same architecture as the capital city. It's got a beach area, lots of places for people for role-playing purposes, if you enjoy role-playing and getting into acting out what your character does and who your character is. So we're going to complete this quest real quick because it's just a nice, easy way to knock this out and be introduced to the housing system. They have teleport aetherites to let you bounce around. You can see large houses, medium houses. Most of them you can go into. You have the ability to lock people out of your house. They can't do anything if they walk in, but some people are more private than others and want to keep their houses private. Let's go up to this giant house, see if anybody's in here. So you've got some smaller houses here. You can see all kinds of decorations and very different aesthetics. You have a lot of control over what your house will really look like. Can't necessarily change a whole lot about how it's physically built. There are limited options, but what you have on the grounds, every single one of these items was carefully placed by somebody, was specifically selected for this location. You have a bridge, you have a sauna, very popular item. Seems like it's more for a free company, just the way that it's built. So it has a little icon here, which means I can go in and just kind of snoop around, see what they've got. It's kind of interesting. You can get ideas for your own house. You can see there's a person in the house right now. So my thing is telling me, hey, would you like to join a free company? That person saw me and was like, hey, this is a non-guilded person. I don't have a guild or a free company, but they're obviously interested and they're snooping around my house. So I'm going to invite them to join. Now I'm not going to join right now. I started on this server to play with a friend who's going to be online in a few days, and I would not want to join a free company and then 2 days later leave it. I don't feel that's right. So I'm going to be ignoring any and all free company invites that I get. So you can kind of see it's a very large area. If you have the money and you're on a server that maybe has a lower population, you can get a house. If you're on a higher population server, this tends to be a very normal population server, very average player count. You really just have to check the wards frequently to see if something comes open. It uses a regression system, so if you notice that a house is sitting, quote unquote, on the market, the value of the house or the plot, because you're not buying the house, you're buying the land, and then you purchase the rights to build a house on it. But you're essentially buying a plot of land. It's going to start at a set amount, and then the amount is going to go down the longer it's vacant. Just like the real housing market. If a house doesn't sell, the price will go down to entice somebody who maybe didn't quite have enough money to buy it when it was at full price to go ahead and purchase it. We're going to go over here and complete this quest that we picked up a long time ago, just to knock it out. So we need to deal with these pumpkins. I promise we will get to our class quest here in a little bit. Just trying to knock some of these out. So I'm a little bit closer to 10 before I complete that. Obviously we're not going to be that close, so I'm not going to do that many side quests in between now and then, but we'll get a little bit. Head back up the hill, And then once we complete these quests, I will figure out where our class quest is, and we will go there and knock that out. I thought it was in this zone, but I apparently was wrong. Oh, I completed my quest already. I just need to go back to town. So that is what we will do. See, you just run around killing stuff. Makes it easy to kind of forget what you're doing. There's so many quests to do, so many things that you can get distracted with. It's very easy to start with one plan. The plan I had for this video is already kind of not quite following in what I wanted to, but that's okay. We'll go down here. We'll complete. We'll start this quest and maybe complete it depending on what he needs. I think he wants us to find sheep, if I remember this quest correctly. Alright, use the lice comb on the sheep. That's lovely. So if you have a quest where you need to interact with an item, you can do one of two things. You can either come up here, your quest will have a little icon to use that item, or you can actually open up your inventory and use that item. I find it easier to use the menu, but if you have a ton of quests, it may be easier. See, if I right click on them, it's saying, hey, use this item. Now we just go back up here, go back to the quest giver, we'll complete that out, and we'll go back to town. Okay, so our quest is not complete. We basically completed the first step, and now she says, let's go find some crates. Alright, so we killed some enemies, and oh look, somebody's sitting in the grass reading a book. A fellow Arcanist. I'm not a threat. So basically she's telling me I could have done better. Even though I did phenomenally, she was analyzing my performance. A tactician. Definitely someone following the Arcanist class. She is a Makote, the cat race. I'm an Ora. I'm a dragon, essentially. There are the classic elves called Elizin. There are Hyur, which are essentially humans. There are Rogadin, which are the larger, typically gray-skinned, blue-skinned characters we've interacted with. There are quite a few of them in Limsa Lominsa, actually. And then the final race is the Lalafell. They're the very, very short characters. None of those selections really matter. It just changes a little bit of the flavor text, but you're essentially getting to the same point. And she's off. Bye. Okay, let's go ahead and get this turned in. We'll be close to level 8. I don't think it'll push us over level 8, but it'll at least get us relatively close. Then we need to address our gear so we can progress our story. Our story, once we get the main scenario completed far enough, it will send us to the other city-states, which gives us access to additional jobs, additional locations, different grand companies to follow. All right, lots of options here. So we can take a coat, which would be good from a stat perspective. It's a little bit lower defense, but honestly, I'd be more interested in the intelligence and skill speed. We could take a hat. There's a ring. Requires level 9. That's a little bit higher than what we are now. Have some bracelets. We're pretty much going to buy these two things when we go to purchase our gear, so I'm not going to worry about those. Or we could take the gold. In this case, I think I'm going to take the coat. Also got a new book for that quest, so it's going to want me to equip those. So that's good because that's a level 6 item, so that or level 5 item, I'm sorry. So that meets part of our requirement for our main scenario quest. So now let's go ahead and let's jump over to the Hawker's Alley, which is where all those vendors were that we looked at a video tour ago. And we're going to see what we can buy. So we're looking for Battlecraft gear. So This guy has weapons. You can see everything's broken up by level, so we don't really need that because we just got a new weapon. Let's look for, here we go. Nope, that's tools. Looking for an armorer, basically. I'll craft a supplier. You can kind of look at the items that are behind their desk. So you can see he's got armor, he's got some food, he's got an astrologian weapon, or maybe that's a buckler, a shield. There we go. Here's what we need. So we need Disciple of Magic gear 1 to 9. So when you're purchasing gear from a vendor, they're typically gonna sell multiple versions of something. So here's a level 1 hat if I wanted, or I could buy the level 5 hat. So I'm gonna go ahead, because I didn't select that earlier, I'm gonna take one of those for 113 gil. Let's see, I also need gloves. We've got level 5 and level 8. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the level 5, because I just want us to get to our quest. Normally I would say take the 8 because I'm so close, but I just want to get this quest done. I'm going to buy this, even though I can't equip it, because I will equip it soon. Let's look at our pants. Level 1, level 5, level 8. Let's go with the level 5. And boots, we should be good. Now, to make a little bit of that money back, I'm going to sell some things that I've picked up. I could go through the process of selling these on the auction house, but I haven't set up my retainer yet. So I'm just going to sell these straight to the vendor and get a little bit of money back. Not a ton. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and cancel. Use some food because our buff has worn off. We're going to equip all of our gear. So notice my icon went to green. That tells me I've met the requirements, so I can go back to him and turn our quest in. He's going to give me another weapon, which is essentially what I just got. So I will actually take, I will end up taking this gold because I will get more out of it at this point. Want to do that. For being a subscriber, I gained access to these Aetheryte tickets, which is essentially free transports, but I only want to use those for traveling longer distances that would cost 900 gil, 800 gil, and they're really worth it. Probably did that the hard way, but that's okay. Could have just gone the other direction. Alright, so let's have a look. I'm level 5 all the way around. Take our gold. Alright, now he gives me the next quest. And what we're gonna do, he's gonna give me some eye drops, which is a potion that removes blindness. And he's also gonna give me a choice. Do I want potions or do I want ether? Ether gives you mana. At this point, I'm going to start taking ether because I have quite a few potions and I have a heal spell. So my mana is going to be more important to me than health potions because I can heal myself. So it looks like we're investigating some unsavory characters who could be kidnapping people, which is very unfortunate. I will investigate. So as you can see, there was a little bit of fall damage. There is fall damage in this game. However, you cannot kill yourself from a fall unless you are in combat. So if you are out of combat, you do not have any enemies aggroed on your list, and you jump off, it will take you all the way to 1 health, but it won't kill you. Now, if you jump down next to an enemy and they immediately turn and hit you, you're going to die. If you have been in a fight with something and you're running away from it and you fall, it will kill you. So you have to be very careful with jumping off of things. Make sure you don't, sometimes you'll aggro something as you're running by, and so then you go to jump and it kills you when you land. Very unfortunate. Alright, oh, here's some more enemies that are on our hunting log. So let's go ahead and kill them real quick. Get the XP for that. That'll be a really nice bonus here. If you get to the point where you're really needing levels and you don't know what to do, you're still low level, so you haven't unlocked dungeons, you haven't unlocked anything else, look at your hunting log. Just go ahead and open up. You can even put the button, if you want, put it over here and just open it and just see, okay, what do I need to get? Is there anything that's in the zone that I'm in right now? If there's something in the zone with you right now, go kill it. Don't wait until you stumble across it. Say, okay, where am I at? Okay, so it says we are in Middle Enosia. It says there are lambs somewhere that I can kill. It says they're in Zephyr Drift. So if you zoom in on your map, you'll notice there are additional names here for different sections. So Zephyr Drift is over here, which means the sheep are probably in this area. They're going to be somewhere over here. So if after I kill this, kind of just wander down there, I'll probably find some sheep to kill. You get little bits of XP for killing them, but when you finish the whole tier, you get a huge chunk, and it moves you to the next tier. And there are 5 tiers just for this class. Every class has its own list. There's a lot of XP to go around. Of course, once you gain access to dungeons, once you gain access to guild hests, which are little mini dungeons, once you gain access to leave quests, which are semi-repeatable quests that you pick up, that you choose to take, that use a type of currency that you accumulate over time. Again, very effective for gaining levels, especially at lower level. Because you can ramp up the difficulty a little bit and make it harder, which will give you more rewards, more XP. So this, whenever you see this beautiful sort of halo effect, this ethereal image, that means you're going to enter into something that's instanced. It's going to take you out of the regular world and into just your world for one very specific piece. This message is telling me that you're about to enter an instance battle. Instance battles only occur during certain quests and missions. You can only take these on by yourself. Unless it's a dungeon that you queue for, if it's just a battle like this, you have to be by yourself. If you're in a party with somebody, it will tell you you need to stop, you need to leave.